Hello there everybody, welcome back to another Lost Ark video. It's Tuesday, which means it's Topical Tuesday. We take a look at the subreddit over the last week. I know this is a late video, I apologize to everybody. I've been going through it this week, I'm very stressed, I've been doing a lot of work, and I'm just very tired in general. I know nobody really cares, but it's like a thing to me to do a video every day, and I mean, I've been doing it for the better part of like three years, going on 4 years now. I don't know, I don't remember, man. It's just... you know, it's just one of them hobbies for me. It's what it's always been. Anyways, if you're sticking around, we take a look at the subreddit over the last week, and we just kind of see what people have been posting about. And if, of course, you'd like to give a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. I mean, you don't gotta, but I'm always gonna ask. Let's take a look here. I guess I'll open this thread just because it's like, it's interesting. It's clickbaity. Oh yeah, Stoops made a beginner's guide. I've very briefly looked at it. It seems to be very well made. I mean, everything Stoops does is generally pretty high in terms of, like, the content in which it's presented. Because Stoops doesn't really post videos unless they're, like, specifically made, you know? So generally when Stoops posts, like, a guide, it's very well done. Even if you don't like the guy, which is totally fair. I mean, you're allowed to like whoever you like. But Stoops' guide is very, very good. So if you have any, like, friends that are, like, trying to return to the game or play and start new, would highly recommend sending them a link to that guide. What do we got going on here? Honestly, one of the best updates. How to min-max the first week of Paradise at the end of the first week. I'm glad. I get to learn the tech. People only like Paradise because of its generous rewards. Ooh, that's a controversial thread. Okay, let's start with this. So it looks like shard nerf is too much. Feels so bad with the new amount of shards and chaos. Only 3 chests per week. Chaos and aura brew, not give too little. Not give too little. I don't know what that means, man. I don't know what any of this means, truthfully. I guess they changed how shards drop in chaos dungeons? I don't know, man. I'm out of the game. And I don't recall reading this in the patch notes. I regret not running all my purple and green pots in my main before the update. RIP. I was honing up to 1640 thinking, man, so many shards. I had 500k T3 left over doing nothing for me. Then T4 hits and I'm shard broke at 1648 even after the challenge events and honing events. Event shop, raid shop, etc. Like, goddamn, that wall came up fast. I thought gold was an issue. Big shaft, especially for newer players. Yeah, that's how she goes. It's actually giga ass and I'll die on this hill. I don't know why that makes me laugh so much. Giga ass is just such a funny phrase. Giga ass. Honestly, one of the best updates we ever had. Amount of good stuff, content, events, skins, balance, rework, QOLs, UI, etc. we got this week is really awesome. Yeah, I mean, it seems like generally speaking, people are really happy with the update, and I'm really excited that they're happy for it. Because like I said in the other video, like, I want them to I want them to update the game and, like, patch the game with updates that people actually want and enjoy. Because why wouldn't I, right? I want the game to succeed. I always have. And it's really happy. I'm really happy to see that people really seem to like Paradise, man. Lost Ark shot up in the Steam revenue chart. Well, I don't know how much this metric necessarily means the game is doing better. That's more so to do with, like, packs being added, right? I will say, though, it's definitely a metric to keep track of, to be sure. I'm just saying don't only rely on a single metric. That's all I'm trying to say. Played about 3 hours last night, and the only complaint I have is no class engraving in Paradise. That is a complaint that I've seen a little bit, and I think... Fuck, who was it? Was it Pins who left the comment in one of my last videos? I think my Arconomics video? Forgive me if it wasn't you, Pins, but, I think you left, like, the exact same comment as this, basically. It's just you don't like the fact that you don't have a class engraving. I can't remember who it was. It's one of the common commenters that I have, and I think it might have been Pins. Anyways, how to min-max the first week of Paradise. This is really helpful because this is the last day of the week, and by the time this video goes up, the game will probably be in maintenance. So thankfully, I'm going to learn how to min-max my first week of Paradise. That I'm definitely going to be doing right now. I'm actually logging on, and I'm about to min-max the shit out of it. Through trial and error, here's how I managed to min-max the weekly limited Paradise Chaos Dungeon and end up being able to do 100% of my tickets level 3 right away. Go to your local Paradise NPC, local Paradise NPC, that's so funny, and buy boss tickets for 100k silver. Clear at least 60% of the boss HP to get the 5 boxes of Paradise gear. Equip it, and depending on your class, upgrade all of the top row 1 time each, and our bottom left and middle 2 times. I usually did all top row times 1, bottom left times 2. But when I did not need gauge, I did top right X1, bottom left, and middle X2. Clear the first boss. Clear at least 60% of boss 2. Upgrade whatever you can. Haven't upgraded. Clear boss 2. You can now start your Paradise Chaos Dungeon at the maximum level for the first week. Since it is time-restricted content, it's for the best to get the biggest rewards possible. Same pattern should be possible for future increases in order to maximize gains. Have a good reset. Alright. That's fair. So you basically tank being slower in Crucible, so you get better starting gear for Elysium and get better stuff there, so you're better geared to get a good time on Crucible for the leaderboard. Brother, these words mean nothing to me. You don't need gear for Elysium, or at least not any more than you need to reach the floor. The point is to start at level 3 so you don't waste your Elysium tickets doing 1, 2. Right. How to min-max the first week of Paradise. Get lucky with Relic Plus pieces and one shot every mob GG. I did this and still ended up with only 51k power. RIP. You forgot to mention the part where you reset every time your awakening doesn't crit. That's funny. And then Paradise Patches W Appreciation Post. Just wanted to give some real credit to AGS for this one. They take a lot of flack on a regular basis, so it's only fair to acknowledge that when things actually go our way. The new Paradise system is a breath of fresh air, and for such a massive patch, the update has been surprisingly smooth and bug-free. Totally hooked. Crucible is insanely fun, and I'm already looking forward to seeing how the system evolves over the next few weeks. It also gives me way more reasons to play my main, which always feels rewarding, and the fact that this could become a solid progression path outside of raids, huge win. Dropping the Express early was also 100% the right move. The events are really juiced, and the Makoko Bootcamp is definitely the best we've ever had so far. Of course, the patch isn't perfect, but credit where credit's due. Let's hope this new direction keeps pushing the game forward and delays that end of service talk for a long, long time. I don't know why so many people bring up end of service talk. I think it's interesting to at least consider it as like an option at differing points. Just because of how end of service happened in Japan for the Japan version of Lost Ark. So it just seems very... I think it's important to see that they're very willing to shut down a region if they don't think it's doing well enough. But I think NA, even before this, I think NA was still big enough. Not big in the big sense, but big in like big enough for the niche group that the game is catering to very clearly. This game is more like a WildStar, not so much like a World of Warcraft or Final Fantasy. You get me? It is what it is. But I don't. It's just funny with 2 separate posts where end of service is mentioned. I don't know. It's crazy. I no longer rate on anything outside my top 3, but this gives me a reason and a way to play my other 9 characters for fun. Bug-free, huh? The patch is definitely not bug-free. At least it was playable for most people. Servers didn't have to go down until the hotfix for a few hours. In the last AGS player survey, they asked about experimental content. I responded to do more of it. Seems like Paradise might have been related to that. Paradise has some flaws to work out, but I'm not expecting experimental content to be well refined on the first attempt. It's different from the usual raid and other current content in the game. It'll take some trial and error to figure out what works. I think people should see Paradise Season 1 as a test to see if players like it. Blah, blah, blah. I think that's a fair assessment. Patch is good, but not bug-free. I mean, let's take a look at the final thread. This is a thread that was posted a day ago. All of the first posts were like pretty much early in the week, and this is late in the week, and this was upvoted pretty highly. So, people only like Paradise because of its generous rewards. Smilegate has functionally just rebundled a bunch of things most people dislike. Base classes, boss rush, chaos dungeon, and cube into a weekly activity. Nothing really new or exciting. The only reason why people are enjoying it now is because you're getting an admittedly solid amount of extra weekly mats for a small amount of time. Leaderboards may end up being fun once they're iterated upon, but currently they're an RNG fiesta dominated by cheese strategies and literal speed hackers. Everything else is simply more of the same. Well, that is a take. I obviously can't really have an opinion on this because I don't know. But let's see what people are saying. I didn't try Hell yet, but gearing is extremely boring so far. I just click on the thing that has an arrow pointing up, then RNG upgrade it by clicking a button. Elysian is just a chaos dungeon. Crucible is just Trixion, but the dummy moves a little bit. My character feels bad to play. Leaderboards are RNG, crit fishing, and exploit infested, yes. RNG will average out, but there will be outliers in both directions, and some people will win or get screwed by RNG. So far, so bad. I feel like I'm going crazy seeing people hyping how fun it is. Rewards are nice, but it doesn't take too long. But the gameplay is just really boring, to be honest. Crucible could be so much more fun with a bit more skill expression. Currently, I even find Chaos Dungeon more enjoyable gameplay-wise. That's really funny to me, as I'm like one of the few people in the world who has said they enjoy Chaos Dungeons. To see another guy say he likes Chaos Dungeons more than a new piece of content is just funny. Agreed, the content itself is very basic and has a few obvious issues or weird design choices. People are only hyped because the rewards seem pretty good for once and it isn't Omega Cancer like other previous stuff. I don't know. Like I said, let me know what you guys think. I can't really give an opinion on this one way or the other because I haven't actually played it. I can take a guess. I think what may be happening here is, while the content isn't necessarily anything groundbreaking, I think the fact that they're willing to do something like this at all in the first place is probably a good thing and a sign of better things to come. Because it shows that they're willing to add more things than just raids, even if this might not necessarily be the most refined version of that content that they're like working in, you know what I mean? Anyways, I think that'll be it. Like I said, not too long today. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, thank you to my YouTube members. It's Biscuits and your Diz. I'm Nufu. Love all of you guys very, very much, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Like the video if you like it. Subscribe. Bye!